Hello everyone, I CM Anannaran on behalf of the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee of the ICAI. Welcome all our participants in today's webcast on the topic Data Mastery with Google Sheets, Key Skills Every CA Should Harness. I welcome today's esteemed guest CA Alok Sethi ji and all the participants present on the webcast. CA Alok Sethi is a highly accomplished corporate trainer with experience of over a decade. He specializes in training and development across banking, financial services, insurance, and multiple technical domains. He delivers impactful training programs aimed at empowering professionals and enhancing organizational productivity through workplace automation, financial literacy, data analytics, and strategic problem solving. All are skills which are becoming increasingly relevant for our members. As a dynamic speaker, he has successfully aligned corporate learning initiatives with business goals, ensuring tangible results and improved performance outcomes. He has expertise in structuring, drafting, and negotiating agreements to mitigate risks and protect business interests, and expertise in advanced Excel, financial forecasting, P&L interpretation, and valuation models like DCF and CAPM. He has comprehensive knowledge and excellent delivery of sessions on income tax, GST amendments, as well as case laws. CA Alok Sethi is skilled in drafting and reviewing legal documents, focusing on accuracy, compliance, and alignment with organizational goals. He's proficient in VBA, Power Query, and integrating Excel with AI and Power Automate for task optimization. With this, sir, I call upon you to share your screen and start with your presentation for our participants.
Thank you, Manan, and thank you, Professional Skill Enrichment Committee, for having me in this session. And welcome all the participants who has joined us live today. And today we are going to talk about how Google Sheets can be used for automation or doing some data analytics or automating some of the processes. Okay, so it might be a new concept for some of you, or it can be some of you already have used earlier. My focus will be on how to use it for our day-to-day task. Okay, and I'll be sharing my screen now, and we'll be going through the nuances of how this can be done and how to proceed further. And we'll do some practical use cases also. So before I start, I will request everyone, those who are watching this session live, okay, you can follow along and you can do along with me, because I'll be going at a slow pace so that everyone who has joined can simultaneously work with me, okay, so that we can make it a two-way communication or a interesting session for everyone, since you can also participate and you can also work along with me, so you do not take it as a webcast wherein I am just explaining things, but we can do along. Okay, so now let me share my screen and let me show you how to go about it. First, I'll be talking about what are actually Google Sheets and why to use basically Google Sheets and when to use and what are the benefits, and then how you can use Google Scripts to automate the task. What task can be automated, what cannot be automated. All these things we are going to discuss at length. Okay, so just 1 minute. I hope my screen is visible. Okay. So basically automating your workflow with Google Sheets and scripts. Okay. Transform your spreadsheet into powerful automation engines that work for you 24/7. Okay. So basically, as a chartered accountants, we have been using Excel over the years. and it is still used globally across the world as a tool for data analysis, data storage, and creating reports, doing valuations, calculations, and all these things. Now, why we need to start using Google Sheets or AppScript? Because although Excel has been used widely, but it's an offline tool, number one. Secondly, you cannot, multiple people cannot work on the same Excel at the same time. But in Google Sheets, it is possible to have your entire team work on the same project simultaneously while using the same Google Sheet. So that is the advantage that we have. Secondly, it can be shared easily uh, across with people who have Gmail accounts. Okay, and you can identify like which work who has done, and you can do the tracking and all. And with the help of AI, we will also understand how Google scripts can be generated, and that can be used for automating a regular task. So I'll start with why automate Google Sheets. Okay. So basically, if you see my browser, okay, I'll show you how do you get to Google Sheet first. Okay. So you are on your Gmail. Okay. When you open your email account, okay, you will see these dots, Google Apps. Okay. When you select this, you scroll down, you will get an option of Sheets. Okay. You can click on this. It will open the Google Sheet window, docs.google.com spreadsheet. Okay. There's one way of going through the email account and starting your Google Sheets. There is a different method of starting with Google Sheets, okay, without actually going through the Gmail account, okay. And I'll show you what is that method. So you can just type sheets.new in your browser, okay, and you just can click on enter. So it will create a blank Google Sheet. Now, by default, where does these get sheets get saved? Okay, so whatever email ID you have logged in to your browser, to your Chrome, it will save the instance of the Google Sheet in the Google Drive. Okay, so I have logged into my Automation Geek account. Suppose I switch this account to my main account. Okay, then it will ask for permission. Okay, you have to request the access to be a viewer or a commenter since you're logged into some other account. Okay, but if you want to create a Google Sheet in your email, first you log into that particular account, and then you can start with a Google Sheet. So right now we can work with this. So by default, it is called as untitled spreadsheet. So when we create a spreadsheet in Excel, it is called as book one, book two, like that. Here it is called as untitled spreadsheet. Okay. You can just click on it and you can rename it. Okay. So I can call it as my workspace. Okay. Now it is saved to drive. So by default, it gets saved to your drive. Okay, you can move it to from a particular drive to another drive or a particular folder. Okay, so if you want to move it to any particular folder that you have, you can move it. Okay, or you can keep it as it is where it is. Okay. Now let's understand what we can do with this. Okay. Or if you have an Excel file and you want to open in Google Sheet, is it possible? Yes, that is also possible. Okay. So saves valuable time. Okay. So eliminate hours of repetitive manual task and focus on high value work. So let's say you get a task every day that you have to analyze in Excel and you have to assign some tasks to your staff. Okay. So you do that in Excel, then you email it to them. Okay. All these tasks can be done in Google Sheets. Okay, and it can be easily automated also. Secondly, since it is an automated process, it will reduce the chances of any error that can happen when we do manual entries or when we do manual calculations. When you're putting some formulas, you might select a wrong range or a different range. So these adjustments can be done over here. You can empower your team. You can share your Google Sheet with multiple people. So if I want, I can click on share. Okay, and then I can specify the email accounts which I want to share it with. Okay, and whatever email ID I add, those people will get the access of my Google Sheet. Okay, so suppose I add my another email account. Okay, and I call it as a commenter, viewer, editor. They can also use the Google Sheet. Okay, so I can call it as an editor and I can just say send. Okay, so it will send an email to the other person that the other person has invited you to use this Google Sheet and both person can work together. Okay, I'll show it to you how. And scale your tools, transform simple spreadsheet into sophisticated business applications. So yes, through the spreadsheet you can create different applications also. That is what we are going to see today. So that is why we should automate or we should use Google Sheets so that we can use it as a tool in addition to Excel. I will not say in a replacement of Excel. You can use Excel as well as Google Sheet because in some of the features of Excel is not available here. Okay, but most of the features are also available. Okay, so you can simultaneously use both. Now, no code automation, sheet automation add-on. Okay, so what we can do is we can use some add-ons or we can write some code and basically that will help you in automating the task. Okay, so I'll take some basic theory first and then I'll show you some use cases also wherein you will be able to understand how we can use the uh, Google Sheet to our work. So automate row moves, data copying, sorting, and formatting instantly. Send emails automatically on forms response or data changes. Track tasks with status updates, reminders, and archiving. Connect with Slack, SMS, WhatsApp via webhooks. Okay, so all these things are possible. Create lightweight CRMs for personalized marketing and lead management. So you can generate leads, you can reply to your emails, you can track your emails. All these things we can do using Google Sheet. So getting started with the Google App Script. Okay, now what is Google App Script? First, let me tell you what this Google Sheet can do. So when you go to File, okay, you will get to see there are some templates which are already there. Okay, let's say monthly budget. Okay, so if I open this template, okay, it will have something which are already built up. Okay, so here is a summary, here is a transaction. Okay, so if you enter different transactions, okay, let's say I put some expenses over here, some dummy expenses I'll put. So let's say 4th of October 2025. I want to put 10,000 as a rent. Okay, I don't want dollars, I want rupees. So what you can do is you can change this also. Okay, so from your number style here, from the dollar, you can change it to another currency also. So you can go to format. Okay, and in the format we will have an option of number format, and here you have currency. Okay, you can choose custom currency and then you can mention what currency you want to use. Okay, so we want to use INR or Indian rupees, so we will look for Indian rupee. Okay, and then we can say apply. So it has applied in rupees. Now you can see 4th October I have booked a rent. Okay, so rent is already there. Now category is home or office, or you can select any other, or you can create another category also. Okay, suppose you want to have office over here, you can add. So these are the drop downs which are already created. You can add another rule to it. Okay, you can add one more category here. We can call it as office. So in the summary sheet, actually, we have these already mentioned. Okay, so I can just simply change it over here, office. Okay, and now you will see that we will have an office option also. Okay, so 10,000 rent. Let's say on 10th of October, you are paying some salaries. Okay, so you can write $15,000. rupees as salary to staff, again office. Then on 15th of October, you are doing some other miscellaneous expenses, let's say conveyance expenses, 3,000 rupees, petrol or conveyance, and we can put it in office again. Okay. On 20th, you are doing some other expenses on stationery. You can call it as utilities, something like that. Okay. Now what happens is, once you create this, okay, let me put some income also. So on 31st October 2025, we are getting some 55,000 rupees from fees, professional fees. Now here also these categories are also mentioned. So savings, paycheck, okay, you can just keep it as paycheck. Now what will happen is it will create a summary. Okay. So starting balance or ending balance, okay, and then this is the expenses that we will get. Okay, so paycheck is here, planned, actual, and difference. Okay. So where the planning and all amount is there, you can see J26. So you can mention your starting balance over here. Okay. Now I don't want to use dollars here. So I can select the entire sheet and I can change this currency, okay, to uh rupees. Okay. So again, we can go to number and we can select Indian rupees. Okay. So it will have wherever the dollar was there, it will have Indian rupees. Okay. Starting balance, I can keep 25,000. Okay, so these are your planned expenses, your actual expenses. You can increase the planned expenses. Let's say I have planned expenses of 45,000. Okay, so it is showing your planned expenses are much more than the actual expenses, or let's say your planned expenses are 32,000, or let's say 28,000, 26,000. Okay, so your actual expenses are more than your planned expenses. Okay, similarly, if you had planned an income of 60,000 and you are 35,000, it will show it accordingly. Okay, so planned and actual. Okay, so for utilities, you had planned, let's say 400. We'll put home 0. Okay, so these are basic things that I am covering right now. So these are the templates which are there. Okay, so whatever you have planned and what is your actual, accordingly it will give you the difference. Okay, so these are formula based things which are already there. Okay, and it will give you the options also in the paycheck. Suppose you wanted to get 30,000 planned and you got 35,000, so 5,000. So it will show you the starting balance, ending balance, okay, planned expenses as compared to actual expenses, and all these things. Okay, so this is how a Google Sheet works. This is a template basically. Okay, now you want to look for another templates, you can again go back to your file and you can go to new. Okay, and from template gallery, and you will get another templates. You can look for the templates which are available. Okay, Google Finance Investment Tracker. Suppose you want to track your investment, you want to use link it with the online tracking options available. You can do. You want to do analytical dashboard, you can create a dashboard like this. So you can select this. What you need to do is you need to just replace the sheet which has the data and it will create. Okay, so it is showing my running analytics. Okay, so total miles, average pace, what is the fastest time, okay, distance over period of time, all these things. So this is already there. Now instructions and data. So this is the data. So if you are capturing data, then this will automatically create a dashboard like this. Okay. So in this, you can see a map is also there, which is showing the visual image of the locations where the tracking or running has been done. Okay, and all these things. Now you can have different filters. Suppose you want to filter on any particular dates. You want to like find out like in this week or last month how much I rain, what was the numbers. So you can check that also. Okay. Similarly, you can have different dash sales dashboard also, or any other dashboard. Okay, so this is one thing that I wanted to tell you, that we have different templates, and based on the templates you can select any template that you are wanting to work with. Okay, let's say in one of the case we have EMI templates, wherein we want to find out the loan amortization kind of a thing. Okay, so you want to create a template which can actually calculate the EMI and give you the schedule. Okay, so we will take up an example wherein we will create a Google Sheet. Okay, and that Google Sheet should ask me three inputs, and that script should give me the EMI based on that. Okay, so we will go to a blank worksheet, blank spreadsheet, and I will call it as EMI calculator. So basically, we are going to learn how to create a EMI calculator, which shall take some inputs from us. Okay, let's say principal amount, then the tenure in months, then the rate of interest. Okay, and the date of loan. And based on these, it should give us the EMI. It should find out the calculate the EMI based on these inputs like principal amount, tenure in months, rate of interest, and date of loan. Okay. So this I will give, and it should calculate the EMI. Now this I want to automate. So wherever, whatever amount I put, whatever months I put, whatever interest I put, or date of loan I should put, it should give me the EMI. Also, it should create a EMI schedule also in another sheet. Okay. So I want to automate this process. So how can I do that? So let us put one more row, and let us call it as prince particulars. Let us call it as amount, or you can say details, because you might have different things also apart from amount. Okay, particulars and details. Now what I will do is I'll take a screenshot of this. I'll go to ChatGPT. I'll paste that screenshot. Okay, and I will say I have this Google Sheet wherein I want to automate the process of EMI calculation. Okay. Mm, as the user inputs the details in column B, the Google app script shall calculate the EMI and put the answer in cell. Okay, we will give the cell number also. So we want the answer here in cell B6. Okay, B6. Cell B6. Now give me a Google script to get this done. So this is a simple prompt I have given to my chat GPT. Okay, and we are going to get a Google script. Okay. It is also explaining how it is to be used. Okay, so it is writing a code. Okay, and see, it has read B2 is principal, B3 is tenure, B4 is interest. We want the EMI to be in there. B6 EMI is principal into rate into 1 plus R to the power n divided by 1 plus R to the power n minus 1. Okay, this is the formula to be used for EMI. Okay, now let us put this to work. Okay, so what we can do is we can copy this code. Okay, what we need to do, we need to copy this code. Okay, and how we have to, where we have to paste this. So we have to go to Google Sheet extension and app scripts. Okay, so I will go to my Google Sheet. I'll go to extension, and the third option is app scripts. So I'll go to app scripts. When you click on app script, this window will open. Okay, and you will get to see some code over here. Okay, function, my function. You just delete whatever is mentioned over here, and we will paste the code which we copied from Google. Okay, from our chat GPT. So it's saying function on edit constant sheet is equal to e source get active sheet. So the sheet name should be sheet 1. So here, if you see, the sheet name is uh, sheet 1 only, so that is fine. Okay, then it should get the rows, it should calculate the EMI. So B2 should be the principal, B3 should be the tenure in months, B4 should be annual rate. Okay, and then B5 is the date, loan date, and it should calculate the EMI in B6. Okay, so let us first save this. So we'll call it as EMI Calc C, and I'll save this. So what I did is I opened AppScript, I pasted the code which I got from ChatGPT. Okay, I copied the code from here. I went to my Google Sheet extensions, AppScript, and then this window got opened. There was something which was written. I deleted that and I saved this project. Okay, I renamed this and I saved this EMI calculator. Now we will click on run. Okay, as you click on run, it will ask for some permission, authorization required. This app might not work as expected without providing all the requested permissions. Okay, now let us review the permission, what permissions it is asking for. So we'll click on review permissions. Okay, let me share my entire screen. Now it is asking me to choose an account. So this is the account that I am using. So I'll click on this account. It is asking for a number. It is just verifying that I am the person who is using this account. So I'll get a code. Let me put this code here. Okay, now see what it is asking. It is saying the app is requesting you to access to sensitive information in your Google account. Until the developer verifies this app, it should not use it. Okay. So let's verify. So here it is saying back to safety. If you click on this, you'll be going back to the page. That means you're not giving the permission, but we will say we understand this code is developed by us only, and what it is going to do. So I'll say go to EMI Kelsey. Okay. And now it is saying app hasn't been verified by Google because this app is requesting some access to your Google account. You should use continue only if you know the trust the developer. Okay. Now, once you give the permission, okay, what it will do when you allow this access, EMI Kelsey, this is the code which will be you will be able to see, edit, create, and delete all your Google spreadsheets. Okay. So it can see Otherwise it will not be able to see the numbers, okay, the amount that we are putting. So it will see, it will add it, because it will go to my cell and put the value there. It will create, or it can delete also. Okay. Now I understand that this is the concern, but I am clicking on continue. So we have to give the permission to Google Sheet or App Script to use to run. Now, once we get this, there is some error which is getting here. Cannot read properties of undefined reading sources. Okay. Yeah, so there is no amount filled over here. Let me put some amount here, 10 lakhs. Tenure, put 60 months. A rate of interest, let's put 9%. And I'll put today's date. Okay. So if you see, as I have put these details, okay, you can see, let me put this in number format. Okay. So again, we'll change the currency to Indian rupees. Okay, so it is 10 lakh of rupees, you can see. Okay, 10 lakh rupees. Okay, and it is giving me 16,704 as the EMI. Okay, now let us verify whether this EMI is correct. Okay, now let's go to Excel and we will check whether the EMI is correct or not. Okay, I'll copy the same details over here in the Excel file also. Now this value I want to calculate. Okay, now how to calculate EMI in Excel? Okay, so there is a formula which calculates the EMI, and the formula is PMT. PMT is a function, okay, which you can use to calculate the EMI. So we will use this function over here is equal to PMT rate. So rate is 9%. But since we are calculating the EMI for a monthly basis, we will divide by 12. Okay. NPR is month. How many installments you will be paying? So 60 installments, 12 months and 5 years, 60 installments. PV is the present value. So present value is this 10 lakhs. Then future value. What will be the value of the loans once it is paid? So it will be 0, right? And the type, whether you are going to start at the end of the period or beginning of the period. That means the first or the 31st. So I'm selecting the end of the period. And as I click on enter, okay, we are getting a different this thing. If I put 1, okay, so we are getting this as a EMI 20,603. Okay, here we were getting this. So let me check where there is a difference. So rate is 9%, NPR is 16, present value is 10 lakhs. Okay, and PV 0, we'll put 0 here. 20,576. Here we are getting this. Let me calculate here also. PMT rate is 9 divided by 12. Number of period is 60. Present value is 10 lakhs. Future value will be what? 0. Okay. Beginning or ending, we can leave it as it is. So 20,756 should be the right amount. Okay. So it is not giving us the right. Now, let me run this program again. Okay. So it is giving me the same number. Okay. Now, let me try and put 9 only here. Instead of 60, if I write 42, it is changing. Okay. Okay. Now let us try and see why we are not getting the right answer. Okay. So maybe the formula which is used, maybe it is not correct. Okay. So what we can do is it is calculating the annual rate also. Principal rate 1 plus 1. Okay. Now let me go back to my GPT. Let me try to run this again. Okay. So we should get 20,576. It is giving 16,704. Okay. Now let me write the prompt. Okay. And we will say in the above, modify the above code to use PMT function to calculate the EMI. Okay. So this is what I have asked it to do. Okay. So I want it to use the PMT function to calculate the EMI. Okay. So it should give us the right uh, answer. Okay. Now let us try to use this code. I think it is using the same function only. Now let me copy paste this code over here. Okay. We will save this and let's see if there is any change. We will run this code. Okay, so why this error is possible? Because there are multiple sheets which are open. Okay, now I have closed all these sheets. Let me run this code again. Okay, let me put this to GPT and see why we are getting this error. Solve this error and get a clean code. Also explain why this error is shown. So basically, we want to understand why the error has happened. Okay. So it's saying the error occurs when you run the onEdit function manually from edit script. OnEdit is a simple trigger that works only when a real edit happens inside the Google. When you run it manually, okay, so we don't have to run actually. Okay, it will do. So clean. Now it is there is a revised code it has given. Okay. Now let us put this code here. So basically, we do not have to run this. Okay, it will automatically work on edit. So if we do any editing here, it will automatically work. So let me make it 20 lakhs. Okay, so here we are getting the answer. Okay, 41,516. Here we are getting a different number. So it is putting the formula, you can see PMT. Okay. But 9 divided by 12. Okay. So there is a difference here. What we need to do is we need to write 0.09. Instead of 9, I have to mention like this. Yeah. So here we are. Okay. Again, it is doing the same changes. So it is doing some calculation error here in with the 9%. So let me make it. Okay. So let's not divide by 100. Okay. So this I'm changing manually here. Now it will give us the right answer. Okay. So now you see we got the same answer, 41,516 and 41,516. So earlier what was happening, it was calculating dividing by 100 also. So we don't require that because 9 divided by 12 directly it will give the answer. So we calculated a EMI of a loan by writing a Google script. Okay. So if you just mention any amount over here, let's say instead of 20 lakhs, I want to put 50 lakhs. It will give me this value of 50 lakhs. Okay. Now, next what I want to do is I want to create a loan repayment schedule also. Okay. So apart from that, I want to create a loan repayment schedule. Okay. So what I will do is I will say, yes, build the code to get the full amortization schedule. Okay. And uh, a custom menu to generate the loan amortization schedule. Okay. So I want this now. So we don't want only the EMI. EMI was just the starting point. Now I want a proper schedule also. So if I put 60 months, it should give me 60 months how the repayment has been happening. Okay. So I have just put this into ChatGPT. Now it is going to give us a full script. Okay. Okay. So row number 10, it will put the schedule. Okay. Understood. Now let us copy the script, paste the full script into extension app. Okay, so we will go and do this. We will open a new script file. Okay, we can call it as EMI schedule. And I'll paste this script over here. And I'll save this file. Okay, now let us run this. Now let me go to my Google Sheet. Now in my Google Sheet, you will see there is a new custom function or custom option you can see in the menus, which is loan tools. Now, if I click on generate amortization schedule, it should generate a amortization schedule also. Okay. It is saying amortization schedule generated successfully. And here it is. Okay. So you can see the loan amount is 50 lakhs. This is the EMI 83,000 it is getting. Interest component, principal component, and closing balance. Now, if I go down, at the end of 16 months, it should be 0. So it should show to 0. Now, let's try to get the correct EMI. We're not getting the correct EMI actually of the schedule. Okay, it is taking 83,542 for some reason. Let me reduce it to 36 months. Okay, and let's see if we are getting the revised schedule. So I will say again, generate amortization schedule. And now see, it is only 36 months. Okay, and EMI is again coming different. Okay, EMI is little different. Okay, anyways, so in this way you can calculate the EMI also. Okay, now if the please enter okay. Now let me do one thing. Let me delete all this. Let me go to AppScript. Let me delete the code which we had created for calculating EMI. Okay, let's keep only this code. Okay, and let us try to work it now. Okay, so now since the code is not there, you will not get that number here. Okay, now let me go to loan and generate EMI schedule. 13,000. Okay. So now it has given the 3-month schedule. Now suppose you want this to be in a particular format, you can convert into a table also. That is the automatic feature of this thing. It will convert this into a table format. Okay, and you will see proper table. Okay. So this was one example of how you can calculate, how you can create EMI calculator using Google Sheets. Okay, and it will automatically calculate. Now let us try to automate a process of sending emails to our client. Okay, wherein we want to get the reminder for fees or any other thing. We can take up that example also. Just give me a 1 minute. So now we will look into another example of Google Sheet. Okay, and what I will do is I will create example where we will send some emails to our clients. Okay, regarding the services offered or the fees collection or something like that. And for that also I will get a first I will get some dummy data generated. Okay, so let's say generate dummy data of 50 rows having list of clients of a chartered accountant in practice. The data shall have the following columns. Okay, So what we want to have? We want to have serial number. We want to have client name. We want to have PAN number. We want to have email ID. Okay. And we want to have the services offered to the client. Okay. Then amount charged, invoice date, and due date. Okay. So generate dummy data of 50 rows having list of clients of the chartered accountant practice. The data should have the following columns: serial number, client name, PAN number, email ID, services offered. Okay. Now, services offered to be from the below. Income tax returns filing, GST return filing, then company audit, then tax audit, and let's say valuation services. Okay. The services offered and fees amount charged to be from the below list. So for ITR, we are, let's say, charging 5,000, GST return filing 2,000 per month, company audit 25,000, tax audit 18,000, valuation services say 20,000. Okay. So give the data in an Excel sheet. So I've asked it to create a dummy data. Okay. So once the data is there, I will put the data into Google Sheet. Okay. And then we will try to do some calculations, some automation around it. Okay. So the file is there. Let us see how the file looks like. Okay. So we have got a list of 50 clients, client 1 to client 50 with their dummy PAN number, email ID, and different services. Okay. And then the rates and the due date also. Okay. Invoice date, due date. Now this I will put to Google Sheet. So I'll copy this and I'll put in Google Sheets. We'll call it as client billing info. Okay. So now we have got 50 clients, and for 50 clients, we have done various services. Okay. We have provided them different services. Now what I want to automate in this. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to send them emails first. Okay. I want to send them emails stating that you have taken this particular service from us. Okay. And your due date is this, and do the payment on to our account. Okay. And I'll put some my email IDs over here so that I can show that email is actually getting sent. So I'll put my email ID in the first case. I'll put another email ID of mine. Another one. Okay. So I'll just repeat this email IDs so that I can get these mails. Okay. Rest are dummy email IDs. Okay. And yeah. Here I'll put my name, Alok Sethi. Put Alok Kumar. Yeah, Sethi Alok. I'll copy this. I'll put it in the second lot of email IDs and third lot of email IDs. Okay, now this is the data which we have created. Okay, so similar data exists in everyone's office. Okay, when you are dealing with practice or you're having your billing. Okay, if you're into consultancy also, if you're into service also, you might have these data. Okay, now what we want is we want to have email sent to each client specifying that you have taken up this services, this is the invoice date and this is the due date, so kindly make the payment within the due date. Okay, this is the email that I want it to send. So how do I write a Google script? How do I generate a Google script for this? So what I'll do is I'll take a screenshot of this. So whenever you want to automate anything in Google Sheet, the best way is to take a screenshot of the data. Don't take the entire data, just a sample, or you can take the headers only, not even the data. And since it is the dummy data, I'm taking the liberty of sharing the data as well. But we should keep in mind that we should not never share our original data with to any GPT for that matter. Okay. And I will write a prompt. Okay, so I have this Google Sheet, or you can first specify about yourself also. I am a chartered accountant in practice, and I have this Google Sheet which has the list of clients and their email IDs, email address, and the services offered to them with the amount charged and invoice date and due date. Okay. I want to send auto emails to all the clients reminding them to make the payment of the invoice within the due date. Okay. Right. I want to send auto customize email to all the clients. Okay. Why we need to mention customize? Because it will take the exact name, email address, the services and all. Okay. The email should be properly formatted and professionally toned. Okay. Generate the Google script to for the same. So basically, we want to send auto emails to the various clients, asking them to make the payment for the services they have taken from us. Okay, first I want to do this. Then what I want to do is I want to summarize this Google Sheet as to the various services, how many clients have served for particular service, what is the total billing amount. Okay, I want to do that. Okay, so first let us do the first activity. So now below is the ready to use Google script that reads each of your Google Sheet and sends a professionally formatted, customized email reminding clients to make the payment before the due date. So these are the columns, these are the headers, okay? And this is the Google script, okay? Now, open the Google Sheet, go to extension app script, delete any existing code, paste the code below, update the sheet name and sender name as needed, okay? Save, run and automate script. So your sheet name is sheet 1 and your sender name is your form name, okay? So this you need to update, okay? So basically this is sheet name sheet 1 only. Let's say my name is client billing, okay? The sheet name is client billing. So I'll update this to client billing now, okay, in my Google Sheet. So what I'll do is I'll copy this and I will go to my Google Sheet. I'll go to extension and then app script. Every time you want to write any app script, you want to automate any process, this is the same thing you have to do. First, you have to open your Google Sheet, then you have to go to extension, and then you have to go to app script. And whatever code is already there, you delete it and paste the code that we get from the GPTs. Now here, what we need to understand is this is the function name, send payment reminders, okay? The sheet name should be not sheet 1, but I have changed it to what? Client billing. Okay, client billing. And your firm name, I want to have it XYZ and Associates. Okay. Rest, I think everything is fine. So what email it will send? The subject will be payment reminder invoice due on. It will give it the date. Okay. Dear client name it will take. This is general reminder regarding the outstanding payment for the following services provided by a firm. Okay, it will keep the it will create a table and it will keep the as it is. Kindly arrange the make the payment on or before the due date to avoid any inconvenience. If the payment is already being made, please ignore the message. Okay. For any clarification, feel free to reach out to us. So if you want to mention the uh, bank account details or the GPay number or anything, you can mention that also in the email body. You can add it over here. Okay. Now this looks fine. Sender name will come XYZ and associate chartered accountant. Okay, now we can save this script. So first we will rename this as client billing. Now mails. And we will save this code. We will save this script and now I will run the script. Now it will ask for some permissions. We'll give the permissions. Again, it is asking for the verification. Let me do that. See, once it will ask for the permission because you are doing it for the first time, every code that you do. Once you give the permission, then it will work automatically. Okay, you need not know anything. So we'll go to advanced. We'll click on this. We have to select all and click on continue. Authorization successful. So execution is started. Okay. So it has started sending the mails. Okay. And now I will show you whether I have got the mails. So I will open my Gmail account and show it to you. So these are the emails which I've used. Alok City GST. I'll just open one email and show it to you. So it is still executing. So it is running the entire code and it is sending emails. Okay. So this is my automatic this thing. So now it has given me some failures because the address were not found, right? Some of the dummy addresses. So it has given this, okay, but it has sent this email, okay. So client 4, this is a general reminder regarding the outstanding payment for the following services buyer firm. Service valuation services amount payable 2000, due date invoice date is this, due date is this. Kindly arrange to make the payment on or before the due date. Okay. Now let me show you my email account, which was correct email address. So I got these three emails. Okay, you can see XYZ and Associates payment reminder. These three different dates are there. So if I open this, it is showing me a particular email. Okay. So dear Alok Sethi, this is a general reminder regarding the outstanding payment for the following services by firm. GST return filing 2000. This is the date. This is the due date. Kindly make payment and regards. Okay. So this is the way you can automate the process of sending emails reminder in bulk, okay, with the proper formatting and all these things. So here it has taken the client name. I think I did not change the name there, okay, but we are getting the details, okay. So this is how you can do the automation. Now this, you want that the reminder should go on every day at a particular time, okay. So we can set some trigger also now, okay. So we want to this email should be sent every day, okay. So we can set some trigger. So how to set a trigger? So this is the email, right? We will click on this trigger. And we will click on add trigger. There is option of add trigger at the bottom, or you can click here also. We click here, add trigger. Send payment reminders. Choose which deployment should be run. Head event source spreadsheet. Yes. Event open. Okay. So on change on. So if any changes are there, or if you open like that, okay, or you want it to be time driven, so you want it to be time driven, okay, and we want to be day timer, okay, and then what time of the day you want, or you want exact time, so you can decide like month timer, week timer, hour timer, minute timer, specific date and time. So we can select a specific date and time. If you want this to go to a particular date and time, so you can mention 2025. Month I'm putting November, date I'm putting today's, and I'm putting 1330. Okay, so I want this on today's date at 1330, it should send the emails, okay. And I can click on save. So now we will see after exactly 20 minutes, it will send another emails, okay. It will ask for permission for this trigger to get activated. Once we give the permission, it will work. Same process we need to do. And this trigger is now set, okay. So in 20 minutes we'll check that the mail will come, okay. So now what I have shown you how you can send. So these are all the failure messages we have got, right? Now what I want is I want to show you another automation. Okay, so suppose we have this Google Sheet. Okay, and there are different clients, but the services are common. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to create a summary sheet which should summarize the total amount based on the services offered, okay, from this table. So it should give me the services offered and amount charged, okay, and the number of clients who are taking these services. So this I want automation. Okay, we can do this using a pivot table also. So you can go to insert and then you can call it as a pivot table. Okay, and then you can go to new sheet and you can manually create a pivot. Okay, so you can select what rows you want, what you want in values and all these things. Okay, but this I don't want to do. Okay, this I don't want to do. So suppose I want to put in the value, I want to add the amount charged. So this is the total billing. Okay, now in the rows I want to add the services offered. So this is what I want to do. Okay, so company audit, all these things, services, and what is the amount charged. Okay, suppose I want to see the count also. So in the values, I can add the client name. So it will give me the count of client. Okay, so how many clients are taking company audit services? How many are taking GST audit or tax audit, like that? Okay, but this I have done manually. I don't want to do it manually. I want to automate this process. Okay. So again, what I need to do, I need to go to my app script. Now, since I've already uploaded my data, okay, I want it to write another code. Okay. So say write another automation script for the same data in the Google Sheet, and that script shall generate a new sheet called as billing summary in the same Google Sheet and should show the following. The services offered, amount charged, and number of clients. Okay, that's it. This is what I want. Okay, now let's see whether we get the right code to do this. So it is writing the code. Okay, now we'll copy this code. Now I will go to extension. I'll go to app scripts. I'll go to file and script, and we'll call it as summary. And I'll paste this script over there. Okay. Now again, source sheet. The source sheet name is what? Client billing. I will name it as client billing. Rest all is fine. We can save this script and we can click on run. Okay, so execution started, execution completed. Now let me go to my billing sheet and we got this billing summary. Okay, you can see this, and let me take a total here. I did not write the total, otherwise it would have given us the total also. So let me take some. We got the same number 781 and here 50. Okay. So this is the another automation that we have seen. Okay. So it is creating this table. Okay. So you can do a lot of these kind of automations. Okay. To see this. Okay. Now let's say I want to create a HTML page. Okay. To show this summary in a graphical manner. So can that be done? Okay. So let's do this. Okay. We will write to ChatGPT. Okay. This worked. Okay. Now I want a code that should generate a HTML page in the Google Sheet HTML styled and show the uh, summary billing summary in a formatted manner, also with a bar chart. Okay. Let us try to see if that gets done. Okay. So now see, this is a different requirement. Okay. So what I want a HTML style dashboard, billing, display the billing summary table, include a bar chart, Google Charts. Okay. Pull live data directly from the Google Sheet. Okay. Now this code generates a menu billing dashboard in your sheet. When click, it opens a beautiful HTML page showing the all these things. Okay. Client-wise summary, total amount per service, number of clients, interactive bar chart. Okay. Now let me add this to your Google script. Okay. So we'll click on this. Now add this function to fetch data from the sheet. Okay. And create a HTML based file. Okay. So we need to add this. This will create a custom menu plus open HTML page. Okay, so let me click on this copy code. We'll go to the same Google script and we will paste this code below this. In the same app script, I will add. Okay. So let me go to the bottom and I'll paste this. Okay, and I'll save this. And now it is asking me to add one more function, right? So we will add this also. Add this function to fetch data from the sheet. So we'll add this function as well. Save this. And billing summary dashboard.html. This I want as a HTML file. Okay, so we'll go to app script file, new HTML file. So here what we need to do is we need to go to app script file, and we will select HTML. Instead of script, we will select HTML. We can call it as dashboard. And I'll replace this code with this. Save this. Now let's run this code. Because there are new additions, it is asking for the permission again. So let me give the permission one more time. It's 903059. Okay, so we will click on continue. Authorization successful. Okay, now we shall see a new menu in our Google Sheet once this is processed. Okay, it is processing. It will take some time, right? And we should see a new menu, custom menu. So it is showing custom menu plus opens web pages. Okay, now let us see if we get a custom menu. It is still doing actually. So let us wait for the execution to happen. Once the execution is done, we will see some custom menu over here created. Okay. Execution completed. Okay, so it is showing execution completed. Let me click on dashboard summary. Okay. Now, is it creating a new? Okay, Gmail operation not allowed. Okay, so there is some issue I'm getting over here. Let us see. Okay, so see, I got these mails around 1:30 we are supposed to get, and why we are getting, just a minute. So I will ask it to give one single, give entire code in single, uh, in one go for the uh, dashboard creation and summary generation. So since we have created different scripts, okay, so what I asked it to generate a single this thing. Let me delete this billing summary. Maybe we have already created this billing summary, so it is not working. I'll delete this sheet and let me try to run this now. So this created the billing summary, okay. But the menu is not the menu bar we cannot see. So let me get a new code and we'll put that code, okay. So this is the code for the billing dashboard. So what I'll do is I will add a new code. So we'll go to extensions, app script. I will add a new code, okay, script, and we'll call it as a full script, full code. Put it here, save this, okay, and I'll copy the code for the dashboard as well. And this we can replace with the dashboard. We'll save this as well. Now let us run this full code. This sheet one, I will call it as a client billing. And I will save this. So now we get one more option here, one more custom menu, billing dashboard. When I click on billing dashboard, it is saying generate billing summary sheet. So I'll click on this. It has already created a summary sheet. Okay. And now I click on this open dashboard. So what it will do is it will open no HTML file billing summary dashboard or so on. Okay. So we need to name the file as billing summary dashboard. Okay. So let's call this as billing summary dashboard. Okay, I've changed my HTML page to billing summary dashboard. Okay. Billing summary dashboard underscore. Okay. So I will rename this as, because if these norms are not followed, it will not work. So I will call it as billing underscore summary underscore dashboard. Now let's try to run this again. Open dashboard. So it has created our dashboard, but not showing the values. Let me just see. Let me delete this. Sorry. So with this, actually, you can do a lot of things, but you have to do a lot of iterations. Okay, so you have to do iterations and then it will work properly. Okay, so let's create the billing sheet now and now open the dashboard. Okay, so what we will do is we will paste this into the GPT when say the dashboard HTML page is not displaying any data. Give revised and clean code. Okay, so we got a complete clean code now. Again, I will put this and I will replace the code here and we will save this. Okay, now let's try to run it again. It is not displaying the data. Okay. Summary table body. Okay, this summary table body is the name same here. Okay, here. So here we have to change the sheet one here also to client billing. So these are small changes that you need to check in your code if the code is not working properly. Okay, maybe this is the reason that dashboard was not getting the values. Now let's see if we get the values as well. Okay, so what we'll do is we will see. Okay, we need to change this code also. Okay, code.js. So I'll do the changes in the code.js. And sheet one to be named as client billing. Sheet one. Here also I will name it as client billing. Okay, save this. Let's run this. Now, let me delete this. Let me generate the billing summary. Let me open the dashboard now. Okay, so there is some issue still persistent, okay, which is not giving us the value. No issues. We will resolve it. Okay. So we will write again to GPT. Okay. Still the new code not able to get the values in the dashboard HTML page. Give a complete clean code again. So when you do repetitive this thing back and forth, it will finally give you the things, okay, and then you can work on that. So basically, we learned how we can automate the process using Google Sheets, how you can send emails, how you can create a summary sheet, how you can create a HTML page also for using Google Sheets. Okay, so this all can be automated. A lot more can be done. Okay, so okay, create a new app script project. Replace everything with this and html.com. So billing summary sheet has the structure correct. Now let's try to do this the last time. Okay, if we are getting some success, let us see. So we will add a new project. Let's add a new code. Billing dashboard. Let's save this. And for the HTML, let's create the file called as dashboard. Puts this here. Now let's execute this code. Yo. So finally we got the amount as well. So we got the services offered, total amount charged, and number of clients, and the amount charged and the clients as well. Okay. So it is not showing the number of clients, but yes, it is showing the amount charged. Okay. So you can see valuation services has got the company audit has got the highest billing, and then valuation services another. Okay. So coming to the concluding remarks of this. Okay, so today we saw how we can use app script. So to use the app script, you have to use either Claude, Perplexity, or ChatGPT to generate the code. Once you generate the code, you go to editor, you add extension, you add app script, you build custom tools, you can automate some workflow, and you can deploy it. Okay, so you can collect data, you can append responses, you can generate monthly summary, all these things. Okay, so now, if there are any questions, I will be willing to take any questions if there are any. Okay. So Google Sheet shows all versions when you try to open the file, unlike Windows, which shows only one file of that. How to solve that? Google Sheet all versions. You try to open the file. Okay, so see, Google Sheets shows all the versions you are saying. So basically, you can select the latest version which you want to use. Okay, so when you see the Google Sheet, it gets saved on a real-time basis. Okay, so the same file will get updated. You will not get multiple versions. It will show you the same one version only. Okay, basically, how to apply AppScript if PMT formula is there. Okay, so if PMT formula is already there, then you can directly go to create the uh, EMI schedule or the loan repayment schedule. You can just say use the value from the EMI and calculate the. So accordingly, your prompt will change. Okay, so if the PMT formula is already there, you can take the value from there and you can directly create. Okay, the interest calculated on monthly rest while in Google Sheet, is it calculated on annual rest? Yeah, so in EMI we do monthly only. If you want to do annual rest, you can modify your prompt accordingly. Okay. Now I'm not able to understand why the EMI comes different in the first calculation. See, yeah. So why it comes different in the first calculation? Because whenever we are using any LLM or whenever you are using any what you can say AI tool to create any script, okay, it can hallucinate, it can give you wrong output. Okay, what happened is in the earlier it was giving wrong because the formula was not taken correctly. Okay, so either you can write the formula or you can see the formula. Okay, so I would write to make a remark over here that don't ask AI who is Shakespeare if you don't know who is Shakespeare. Okay, so let's say if we are calculating EMI, we should know how the EMI works. Then only we can rely on it. Okay. Next question was how to calculate and manage net worth in Google Sheet like PPF, MF. Okay, very good question. So see, to do this, what you can do is you can ask ChatGPT to create a structure, a Google Sheet for having different investments. Okay, like PPF, your bank account, and all these things, mutual funds and all. Okay, and then you can feed your details over there, and you can see you can create a summary or you can create a chart to show what is your net worth and all. And secondly, you can also relate it, link it to Google API to get the realizable value also. Okay, and that can be done. Can we create a portfolio return XIRR through Google Sheet link with stock price on real-time basis? How? Explain. Okay. Yes, so that can also be done. Okay, so maybe we will have some another session on the portfolio management. But what you can do is you can use the Google Finance. Okay, so if you see there is a template called as Google Finance, you can use that template and you can do. Okay, so that is possible. Seventh question, sir. Local Google Sheet data privacy is secured. Okay. Now see, when we talk about data privacy, okay, good you had raised this question. So since we are already using Google services like Gmail or all these things, right? So data is already on Gmail. Okay. When you are using Google Drive, your files are already on the drive. So when you are putting data on Google, I don't think there is a privacy concern. Yes, the only concern is that when you are sending emails or when you are sending, you should check the mail properly. You should check the body properly. You can first try and send emails to yourself and then you send to others. Okay, so these are some checkpoints which are to be considered. Otherwise, it is fully secured. There is no problem as such. Okay. Now, next question is, can we get data from NSC site real time or paste data? Okay. Now, see, NSC doesn't provide the API to get the data. Okay. So you have to paste the data. But I think, yes, in Google Sheet, let me share my screen to answer this question. So in Google Sheet, you can get the price of any commodity. Okay. Let's say you type stock history. So there is a function wherein you can directly get the stock prices, okay, or the details from BSE, NSE, okay. but we have to check actually which function is there. And you can directly fetch the data from this in the Google Sheet also, and you will get the real-time price of any commodity. Okay, so that is possible. Okay, that a little search you will do on Google, you will be able to get it. Okay, so that is also possible. Now, how to safeguard the client information? Okay, now again, what you can do is if you're putting data on Google Sheet and you are thinking that it is not safe, or you are putting client data, or you're putting your own data, maybe you can protect your Google Sheet. Okay, so here you can protect it by putting a password. So in the tools, you will get accessibility. So here you can set up a password and you can protect your Google Sheet so that you are only able to see it and no one else can see it. So you can go to settings and you can do this. You can put some passwords to protect your data. Okay, so I think that can be done. So I think all the questions which are there in the chat I have answered. Okay, if still no more questions are there. Okay, great. So I hope all those attendees who are listening to me live and who are trying their hands on, they got a good insight about how to use Google Sheets. Okay. The more you try, the more you get better at it. So I would advise everyone to try your things. Okay. And whatever questions you're asking, if you put that question to any AI model, they can give you the answer and you can at least get some idea about how to get started. Okay. So once you start using these tools, you will get more update on it.
All right. Sir, so seeing that there are no more questions, I'd like to wrap up this session. It has been an honor to be a part of this wonderful webcast and to host you. The webcast on data mastery with Google Sheets, key skills every CA should harness, organized by the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee of the ICAI. On behalf of the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee of the ICAI, I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to you, sir, for this enlightening session.
Thank you.
And I would appreciate all our participants and their participation and their questions as well. I thank you as well as the participants for making this webcast a grand success. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.